Hello everyone, I welcome you to this session. This is your ICT facilitator, Mutebi Ratib, taking you through database management. So today we are going to be looking at an activity-based item where we have to teach you, the person watching, how to handle a specific condition if at all you are doing a database activity. So this goes on to all learners that do ICT as a subject and have database management under their learning modules. Again, this is Mutebi Ratib, your ICT facilitator, and we are to go through the basics step by step. To again support people that want to reach out for any inquiry, these are my contacts. For anyone that has a question, you have an idea you want me to crack for you, my name, I'm Mutebi Ratib, and my contact is 0784-657421, and my channel name, people following on YouTube, just search Mutebi Ratib. You'll be able to see multiple questions, multiple ICT material that has been submitted to your screen. Please follow out. You can try out by pausing and also checking and see what you could have done. So we are going to do this item from the MUTS ICT Examination Consult, which is our own body, which is our own company that we are using to come up with all these different material as you see. So this is our item at stake. They are telling us that database management is the topic, and the question is over here. I'm going to take you through chap, and then we start executing as early as now. So they are telling us that G4S is a security organization that runs a savings scheme for its members. You have been asked to use a database management system to help the scheme members maintain records of the association. Here we have a table with over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fields, and then the same table has a space of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 records, where we have the first name, the last name, membership ID, DOB, age, membership fee, and fully paid, which is our status. So what do they want from us? They are telling us under the instructions here that create a database file called G4S that has the following fields of data for each member. Part B, assign an appropriate primary key and data type for your database. C, use a form to enter the records in your database. Save your form as data. D, use a query to compute what? Age of members of the association. Save query as age. 2, create another query that would be used to display those whose first name start with letter A and aged 18 and above. Name it age. For members born between 1990 and 2013, save it as born. Generate a report for age query, save report as age report, and then we shall print your report. So this is the item we are going to be cracking down to see what the learner had to do on this question. Those doing the A-level curriculum, this is a very sweet question that is good for your practice. So step by step, the learner, we are going to start by creating a folder for this. Let us call it Mutebi Ratib. I'm going to give it my name, Mutebi Ratib. Mutebi Ratib, let me give it 006, and then over here I'm going to do my work from this folder. I'm creating a folder to act as a virtual container where I will save or keep my information. One, I will create a DB, right click on your desktop, on your space here, go to new, and then choose Microsoft Access Database. I'll come over here, I'm going to name it as, because they're telling us that this database is for G4S. Let me save it as G4S. I'm going to save it as G4S. Create a database field called G4S and has the following fields. So they want us to save our database as G4S. The instruction is over here. When you check the question, they are telling us that create a database file called G4S and that has the following fields of data. So our database is called G4S. Now I'll come over here, open my DB that I've just created, and then I start editing it out. Let me enable content, and then this is our interface for Microsoft Access Database. I will not be able to keep checking here, so for the people following, you are free to take a screenshot of our table of interests, which we are going to be creating, and then we shall start running it the other side. So in the first, we have a table that we need to design. How do we do that? I will come back to my database. I go to create, the create tab on your ribbon, look for table. After activating table, this is what we shall see. And then after reaching at this stake, now we have to go to the design view and start designing. But before we go there, we have to first save this table with a name. So I'm going to call it G4S table. Then I'll come and say, okay. Now after, they will change for us the view from the datasheet view to the design view. When I reach here, I'm going to start customizing my table. I'll come back here. Under the first field, I have first name. So I'll come back to my DB. Let me deactivate the primary key. I say over here, I'm going to take first name. Then I'll come here. I choose the primary key for this. This is short text. I'll continue to, what do we have? Last name, membership ID, DOB, age, membership fee, and fully paid. So I'll come back here. I say here we have last name. Under last name, I'm going to take short text. I continue to membership. It was membership ID. Under membership ID, we are going to take this to be short text. Then we shall go to DOB, and our DOB, we are going to take date or time. Remember the date for date of birth, we take date or time. But when you look at the format, we see that we have the date, we have the month, and we have the year. So this means that you have to also customize your field for DOB under the field properties here. So I'll go here under format, and then I check the drop down. I say I'm going to take short date over here, and then I'll get back and continue. So I'm done customizing my date. So now I'll continue. I have age. Age will be number. Remember, we have age in number. You could be having 10 years, 12 years, 30 years, 40 years. So those are numbers. So now after age, what do we have? Age, membership fee, fully paid. I'll come to membership. Membership fee, and then membership fee, we have the units, which is SHS. Close the bracket. Let me get back here. They are telling us that membership fee, yes, SHS. So here the learner can take currency, or you can also go on to take number, since you've been able to customize the SI units within the label section. So let me take number as my data type here. Though you can also take currency. Then I'll go and say the last field is fully paid. Yes, under fully paid, what do we have? When we check our question, we have YN, this is short text. Now, after customizing this, after designing my table, I'll Control S, save changes, and then go back here to your datasheet view to view what we have at stake. And so far, we are done designing our database table here, which we named as G4S table. So now, this is how things look like. I'll get back to the question here. Remember, I appreciate you for watching my videos. Thank you so much. You are my hero for the day. Thank you. Please keep sharing, keep commenting, keep pushing this to the next level. So look at this other instruction. Assign an appropriate primary key and data type for your database. So now I'll come back to my DB, go back to designing view. According to what I have here, I'm going to take membership ID to be my PK, my primary key. So after customizing that, Control S, get back to the question. What else do they want us to do? Use a form to enter the records in your database. Save your form as data. Nice. So I'll get back here to my object, and then I go to, let me Control S, let me close this object. I create another one. I'll go to create. I say I need to use the form wizard. After reaching here, be sure on the object of interest. Our object is this table. We want to create a form for a table called G4S table. Now I will come, put all these other fields onto the selected section by clicking this symbol. After putting it this side, I click next. I come here. You can go on to come up with the layout, but for this case, you're free to take columnar, tabular, datasheet, justified, any of your choice. But for this video, let me take columnar. We shall have the other options in the other videos that are coming up. So I will come over here, I click next, and then they want me to save this form as data, lowercase. I'm trying to satisfy the question. It is use a form, save it as data. Then away from that, I will come over here, and then I click finish. So when I click finish, I have my form well composed, and now I can start inserting in information in this form, because they are telling us that assign an appropriate user form to enter. So they want us to use the form we have created to enter data within the table that we have just created. Remember, for now, my table is blank. There is nothing in this table. So I've created this form called data. I want to use it to enter, to insert information within my table. So I will start typing in the information from my table. Remember, these are referred to as records. So I'm going to start entering the records into my table. My first record goes for Chintu Mark, ID 4321, date of birth, and then age blank, membership fee 200, and then the status and I've paid is yes. So I'll come over here, I start inserting in the information. First name, this guy is called Chintu. The last name is called Mark, and then the membership ID is 4321, and then the date of birth is 12/11/1990. Then I'll go to age is blank. I go to membership fee. Membership fee, remember, it was 200,000. 200,000, and then I'll move to status. I put a Y. Yes. So now I'll click here where they're telling us that maybe next record, or I can come and say new blank record. When I say new blank record, they will clear for me the form for me to start entering in the other record. So let me Control S, save changes. Let me first close these objects. I'm going to open them again. So when I open now G4S here, we see that at least now we have at least so far one record for Chintu, and we have been able to do that using a form called data. But when you check onto our membership fee, where we have 200,000, when you check the question here, we see that the question, the figures had a comma. The figures had a comma. When you count these figures, you see that the comma comes every after the 3 digits. So now I also want to make sure that I have the same in my database table over here. So I'll come back to my design view. I go back to membership fee here, and then I say under format, I customize my format. I say I'm going to put how many zeros? 1, 2, comma 1, 2, 3. So now when I come back here, you see I'll Control S, then I go back to my table. Yes, when I get back to my table, I see that under membership fee, everything has been customized. I have the 200, the comma, and the other 3 zeros. Now, after putting that down, allow me continue to enter the information that we are running. So now I'll move here, the other record at stake. We are going to be entering for Akulo, Warren, Akong, Joshua, Kifampa, Bob, Caleb, Peter, Odingo, Sophie, and Wakianga, Precious, and Akech, Lucy. So I'm going to be handling that here. So remember, we've said here we have Akulo. Yes, we have Akulo Warren. Yes, and then Akulo Warren, the ID is 5855. Then DOB for this Akulo is 10/1/2025. I'll go to age. Age was blank. I'll go to membership fee. This guy had 50,000. 1, 2. Yes, 50,000. And then the status was a no. Then I'll go back here. I say blank. And under blank, I'll go back. This guy is called Akong. Akong who? Akong Joshua. Akong Joshua. And under Akong Joshua, membership ID is 514. 514. And under DOB is 08/08/2003, and then age is blank. Under membership fee is 12000, and then under the payment for Akong is still a no. I say blank. I come back here. I enter for Kifampa. Yes, Kifampa, and under Kifampa is called Kifampa Bob. Kifampa Bob, the ID is 123, and then the DOB is 12/1/1999. The age is blank, and then the membership fee for Kifampa is 10,000. And then under the payment for Kifampa is still a no. I'll go to blank. I come back here. I say now this guy, the next one is called Caleb. Caleb Caleb who? Caleb Peter, and under Caleb Peter, the membership ID for Caleb Peter is 411. The DOB for Caleb Peter is 10/03/2014. And then under age is blank, and then the membership fee for Caleb Peter is 70,000, and then under payment is still a no. I go back to blank. After Caleb Peter, who else? We've seen Caleb Peter. Now we are going for Ondingo, Sophie, then Precious, and then Lucy, and all their information. So now I'll get back here. I say after Caleb, I have Ondingo. Ondingo who? Ondingo Sophie. So I'll come over here. I say this guy is Sophie, and then under membership is 868. The DOB is 12/12/2010. Age is blank. Membership is 100,000. 100,000, and under payment she has paid already. So I'll go now. We are soon getting there. Now here we have Precious coming over. Wachianga. The other name is Precious. I'll go to membership ID for Precious is 654. DOB for Precious is 14/1/2013. Yes, and then the age is blank. And when we go to here, we have 14. And then under payment status, it is a yes for her. Now coming back, we are wrapping up. We are now having a catch Lucy. I click blank. I come here and say a catch. A catch who? The way I'm typing a catch. Yeah, a catch who? A catch Lucy. And then a catch Lucy. The ID is 744. And then the date is 11/03/1992. And then membership, the membership fee, she's paying 60,000, and she hasn't paid. So now, after this, I will Control S to save changes, and then I can come over here. I'm free to close, and then when I close this object table, I open it again. We shall find it well populated with the information that we had the other side. So this is our table. The way you see, everything has been well composed, everything has been well set. At least now we can easily see the information. Now, after putting this down, after composing our table very well, what do we have to portray? We go back to the question and start attending to the interests of the item setter or of the examiner here. Now, use a form to enter the records. We are done achieving this. Now, after achieving that, use a query to compute age of members of the association. Save query as age. So they want us to compute age here. Yes, but use a query to compute age of members of the association. Save query as age. Remember to access this question within our description. Please access this same question in the video description so that you can also try out. So now, how do we compute for age? Remember, they want us to use a query in order to compute for age. So what I will do, I will go, let me close this object, save. What I will do, I will go to create, I go to query wizard, and then click OK, and then I want to use this table. I create a query from it. I click next. I click next. I click next. How are we saving the query? How are we saving this query? Use a query to compute age of members with accessory. Save query as age. So I'm going to save this as age. Save it as age. I click modify and click finish. Yes, I click finish. Now remember, when we come here, our age, when you check this object called table, our age is blank. It was not provided. We have blanks here. And when we check in the question paper here, it was blank. We have no records. So now I'll come here, I compute the age with you. So I will go back here, and under the age, I put my cursor where we see the field label age, and then I go to query design. Keep your cursor here, and then come and access your builder option on your ribbon. When you reach here, you're free even to remove these square brackets because it's already a field that is clear. So I'll come here and start computing my age using a function. I'm going to be using a function. Remember here, we want to compute for age, and every time you want to compute someone's age, first you have to know the year he or she was born, and then after doing that, you have to know the current year. You get the current year, and then you subtract with the other year when he or she was born. So I'll come here, you put colons. We are going to use a function called DateDiff. Yes, you pause. You also try out DateDiff, date difference. We want to get the difference. We want to come up with the age of these members that are within this saving scheme. So you say DateDiff, you open brackets. After opening brackets, you open quotes and type 4Y to represent the year, 4 times. You close this you close the quote, you drop a comma. After dropping a comma, you go now and pick the field which you want to interact with. Remember, in our database table for G4S table, we had a field called DOB. So I'll come over here and expression categories, I double tap it. When you double tap it, it will come here. And then after that, you will come and drop a comma, and then you put for me another operator, which we are going to call date. Yes, we are going to open date, open brackets, close them there. After closing, you come and close this other bracket here, like that. So after closing it, here we go. So this is our function which we are going to use to compute age for these different members that are within the saving scheme. I said DateDiff, open brackets, the code row Y in quotes, put a comma, call for me the field name which has our date of birth, put it in square brackets, then drop a comma, and then get me the function called date, which will represent or which will come up with the current date for this the current time space. Then after achieving this, come and click OK. After clicking OK, we shall get back here, and then we come and run the query. So when we run the query, we see that these members have this information here. Though we have a candidate, Akulo Warren, with a 0. Did we type the date of birth in a wrong way? Let me first check. Akulo. Oh, Akulo. Akulo. There is a typing error here. So allow me change time for Akulo. Let me change the time for Akulo over here. Yes, let me take, sorry for that. I'm taking the time for Akulo to be 2005 because we had given him a date that is still in the future. So here at least we go. Now we are done computing the date. But let us first digest this function well so that learners following, they can easily integrate it and pick something from it. So the function that we are using to compute age is called DateDiff. Open brackets, open quotes, quadro y, close quotes, drop a comma. Call for me the field that is containing the date of birth. Drop a comma, then call for me the date and open brackets and close. Quick syntax breakdown here. The DateDiff function is used to calculate the difference between the dates. The date between the current date and then the date when the candidate was born. Then the quadro y that you're seeing, these help us to compare the years. Then the DOB operand we're seeing here, the date of birth field is the start date. Remember, we have it in our table of interest, so we're just calling the field name the way it is. For us, we have typed DOB. But if you have typed date of birth, please you go on and type it the way it is within the table of interest. Then the dates that you see here, this represents today's date, the end date, as the function tends to run through. Don't forget, summarize it in your notebook, save it somewhere for your reference. Now we get back here. We are done computing the age. Now after computing the age, allow me Ctrl S. I will continue to the question item to see what we have at stake. After computing age, what do they want? Create another query that would be used to display those whose first name starts with letter A and aged 18 and above. Name it age. We are going to create a query to pick out members whose first name start with letter A and their age is 18 and above. We are going to save it as age. So I will come back here to my database. Allow me close these objects. Since I'm done using them, I will come back to create. I say query wizard. I click OK. I'm going to use this table called G4S table. Put these fields this side. Click next. Click next. We are going to save it as that they told us to save it as age. We are going to save it as age with a capital A. Yes. So I will come and save it as, oh, here we have typed capital. So let me save it as maybe age with maybe letter A. Allow me change that. Then click modify. I click finish. Now when I come here, I'll go under first name. I want to pick out members, their names start with letter A. So I'll come and say A double asterisk. Then I click in space. When you click in space, Access will help you type for you the full syntax the way it should be typed. Let me get back here to make it visible for the people following. So this is my correct syntax that I've been able to compose. So I'm saying like A asterisk. This double asterisk mean that after the letter A, we have other letters that come after it, and they are represented by the double asterisk the way you see them over here. So keep that in mind. It is like open quotes A double asterisk close quote. Now, after putting that down, after putting this instruction down, Remember, for you to reflect in this query, you have to satisfy two conditions. You should be having A as the starting letter on your first name, and then your age should be what? And aged 18 and above. So I'll come here, under age I say greater or equal to 18. So that I pick those members that are having 18 as their age or above 18. So I click in space, Control S, and then run the query. When I run the query, when we check here, we have blanks. We have no candidate that satisfies the condition. Let's take a quick check. Do we have a candidate with the first name starting with the letter A? Yes. We have a Kong, we have a Kulo, their names start with the letter A. Okay, there is something that has changed within our table here. We had our age. Was it computed in a query? Oh, okay. We are using a wrong object. We have to use the object called age. Is where we had computed their age. This, not the table. So allow me run it again. I'm going to close, and then allow me delete so that it doesn't confuse us. Sorry for that. So now I'll go back to create. I click query wizard. I want to create a query. I say query wizard. I click OK. Now when you reach here, please make sure that you are manipulating an object of interest. Our object is age, because in this object we had computed the age of the members that are within the savings scheme. So I have to make sure that here I have used it. I click this, I put these options here, I click next, I click next. I want to save it as age with letter A. Yes. I click modify, I click finish. Yes, allow me close these objects so that they don't confuse us. Do you want to save changes? Let me say maybe yes. So let me get back here. Under name, first name, I want to say capital A, double asterisk. We have explained that already. That's the right syntax. Now I come to age. I say greater or equal to 18. I click in space. Now, when I come back to my query design and I run the query, I should be able to get some results. We have a Kulo satisfying the condition with 20 years of age. A Kong with 22, a Ketch with 33. So that's how we run the condition. And everything is okay here. I will Control S, close this down. Now we are wrapping up. People following, you are incredible. You are my hero. Thank you so much. So please don't forget to subscribe and share. The other question is here, very interesting question. For members born between 1990, yes, learners, here we go, and 2013, save it as born. How can we run this query? Create a query to reflect members born between 1990 and 2013. Save it as born. Hey, here we go. How can we run this? I'll get back to my database. I want to compose a query to only pick out members. I'm going to use this object called age. I want to pick out members who are born between 1990 and 2013. Between 1990 and those that are below 2013. Yes. So I'm going to use this object called age since it's complete. Let me close here. So I will go click create. Query wizard, click OK, come over here. I'm going to use this object called age, put these fields this side, click next, then I'm going to call it born. The constructor has to save it as born, click modify, click finish. Yes. Now here, we go to the criteria row. Here, you put the cursor under the criteria row. You can work from here or you work from the builder so that you have enough space to view what you are typing. Now when we reach here, we are going to use a function called DatePart. The other side we use the DateDiff because we wanted to get the difference. So I'll come here and say DatePart. After activating it here, we want to use part of the date, but we are interested in the years because we said 1990 and 2013. So I'm interested in the years. So I'll come here, open quotes. Quadro Y to represent the year. Close the quote, put a comma. After putting a comma, come and tell us which field of interest are we using. We are using a field called DOB. Double tap, ta-ta-ta. Nice. After putting it there, you will come and close the bracket. After closing the bracket, don't put spaces so that you have everything clear. After putting the brackets there, after closing the bracket for the function, now you come and set for us the condition. The condition is people born between 1990 and 2013. 1990 and 2013. Here we go. Let me reflect the question again. Between 1990 and 2013. I'm going to be explaining to you this function in detail on this slide. Now I'll come back here. I say between what? Between space 1990 space and what? We are giving now an interval, the range, and 2013. Between 1990 and get us part of the dates. We are focusing on the year in the field called date of birth between the year 1990 and 2013. When I will come and click OK, after clicking OK, I will come and run the query. When I run the query, we see that we are only getting members. Their date of birth is between 1990 and it is not exceeding 2013. It is not exceeding 2013. Let me try to sort and see whether I can get everything in order. You see my results from 1990 up to 2013. And that is what we have. So now, when you check here, I'm done running. Let me check the design view to check the function for you again. Check builder. This is my function. DatePart, quadro Y, DOB, between this. Remember, we have more videos under database. Please go check them up and learn at your comfort. So here we go. I want to explain this syntax. DatePart. This function extracts part of the date. We are interested in the year. We are interested in the month, the day. You say DatePart, and then you put from what you want. Then the quadro Y means extract the year number. Then the DOB is the date of birth field that is in our table of interest. Then the between and operator. These help us to access that specific, the specified information that we want to pick between this X and Y. It checks whether a value falls within that range. So now, after putting this down, we are done running this. When I check here, I have only correct results. Do we have anything else here? Let me check. Generate a report for age query. Save report as age report. Age query. Age query. So I will come here. Let me close these objects. I'll go to this. I'm going to use this because I just changed the naming. I'm going to use this. I then create a report. So I will go to create. I click report wizard. Then here you be sure on the object of interest. I want to use age with this. Then I put this information here. I click next. I click next. I click next. I prefer using columnar. I click next. I click, they want us to save this report as, let me check the instruction again. They want us to save it as, for members born, age report. We are saving it as age reports. Age reports, and then I click finish. There's nothing for me to edit, and this is my report. Everything is over here. So now this is my age report, and then after doing that, they want us to print your report. So I will go to, and then I print. How do we print? I can come over here, I check the print, and then I can easily select my printer and run the print. Then still, remember that people doing the A-level curriculum and the O-level curriculum doing database, please, you have to also print these other objects. When I go to Control P, I can still print. Or you can go to File, you first check the print preview here, and then you are free to print. Some information is not fitting, so I'll come and change the orientation to landscape so that I can print this object. So for the people that have been able to work with me in this video, I appreciate you so much. I remain your ICT facilitator, your ICT tutor on this one, looking at database application using Microsoft Access. Thank you for watching. Thank you for loving me. May God bless you. Bye-bye.